Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, with special thanks to Revenant, Alois, Anerdinwarpaint, Dragon Matrix 7, Eerie V23, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, Kazorm, Lima, Nathan Welch Jr., Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. Oh god, I'm actually going to be sick this time. Your cousin violently heaves into the void, but nothing comes up. There's nothing here. This place is completely empty. And welcome back to Scarlet Hollow. As we march towards the inevitable end of this tragic tale. Did you see the tear running down her cheek at the end? She was conflicted. I didn't, but that's a good point. This whole thing isn't very fair, you know. We only saw one side of the story. I mean, yeah, unreliable narrator, but we're not really seeing any other sides of the story. Aside from that very blatantly skewed history book. No offense, Tabby, but isn't only one side of the story what the Scarlets have been giving since 1918? Shut up. Ugh, what now? Do you repent? Do you repent for your crimes? Are you talking to us? Don't answer it. You must answer for the crimes committed by your scarlet blood. Are you kidding me? I hate it here. I hate it here so much. Until you do, I cannot die. I want to die. Please, I've been alone in the dark for so long. All I ask is for some of your years. To pay for the years that were stolen from me. What are you saying? My life was stolen from me. I want some of yours. It's only fair. No. It is absolutely not fair. You've got to be kidding me. Neither of us had anything to do with what happened to you. The sins of the father are to be laid upon the children. One of you must forfeit. It doesn't matter which. Bullshit. I don't understand. You will live a shorter life. And I will finally be satisfied. I will have justice. I will finally die. I will leave this house at last. How much shorter would my life be? You aren't seriously entertaining this thing, are you? That isn't for you to know. Just as it wasn't for me to know. One day, sooner than you'd like, you will die. And what happens if we refuse? then I will stay. I will stay until I get what I'm owed. The sentence has been handed down. Make your choice. Sybil. Oh, I hope I didn't come too late. Mom? All of you had better get out of here before the spirit regains its composure. This is certainly a strong one, isn't it? Don't worry about the others. They're safe. I got your call, Tabitha, but it was definitely not easy getting down here. Get us out of this pit, Sybil. Tabitha, I don't think it's wise to leave something like this, where anyone could stumble across it. Why is that our problem? It wants something, doesn't it? And I think you know which of you should volunteer. You must be joking. You're the eldest cousin. You're the one who's actually lived in this town. It's only right. Absolutely not. We should just leave. I'm not giving in to the demands of some dead guy. And here we go. Just like Chapter 1 and 2, we've got our pivotal decision to make. One which will, no doubt, have major enduring consequences for the rest of the story. Sadly, we do seem to lack whatever special trait is required to get the optimal solution here. I haven't actually tested it, but I'd wager that's probably Mystic. Perhaps that would let you work out some sort of deal with the Spectre. Or maybe you can actually exercise it. I'll have to test that in my spare time. But in this particular case, we're left with 3 options. None of them particularly ideal. We can pressure Tabitha into accepting the price that has been demanded of us, in which case it'll almost certainly shut her down and drastically change our interactions with her moving forward. Or we could accept that price ourselves, in which case I have to imagine that would also impact our own interactions in the future. Given the fairly nuanced reactivity we've seen so far, it would probably hang over most of our interactions with other characters, if not outright preventing us from pursuing certain actions, especially physically demanding ones, depending on how much it ages us. That said, both of those might still be preferable to that third option. If we just walk away, if we leave things as they are, obviously Oscar and Rosalina would lose their house. But I have to imagine they'd also shut down the library, because we'd have an incredibly hostile spirit occupying the adjacent building. And that, I think, would actually be the most insidious price for trying to dodge your familial responsibility, I suppose. Because A, you'd lose access to the library, which is an invaluable source of research material. But we'd also be losing access to that stone that Charlie unearthed right before he was killed, assuming it's still here. He seemed to believe that that stone was integral to undoing whatever it is that Enoch set up here. And I feel like whether or not we can secure that stone is going to be a very important element of how this whole story resolves. With it, we might be able to actually save Scarlet Hollow, but without it, who knows? And given that I like Tabby too much to throw her under the bus, I think we're going to have to bite the bullet on this one. Sorry, Tabby. I'm not leaving before I put this thing to rest. You take a step towards the spotlight. As you move forward, you feel Tabitha's hand on your shoulder. Retcon, what are you doing? Yeah, I mean, I'm not crazy about this either, but where are Oscar and Rosalina going to live if I don't do this? They'll lose their house. Is that what you're worried about? Good God, don't give up years of your life just for someone's rental. I own properties. I can let them rent from me. I'll even throw in a discount. And what if someone else walks into this place and gets stuck in this labyrinth of impossible rooms? Then we'll close up the library. It might just go away on its own. Who knows? So we would lose the library. Why give up something like years of your life to some ghost who might not even be telling the truth? It's okay, Tabby. This is what family's for, right? Sybil is right here. Please, don't do this. You wordlessly step into the spotlight. For the first time in what feels like hours, the earth around you feels solid, real, but also soft. You feel it pressing in on all sides, cold and growing tighter by the second as the soil settles. Claw your way out. Your arms tear at the earth until you break through into the air. As you gasp for breath, you take a look into the pit behind you. Yeah, looks like we do have the stone here. And poor Charlie. What is that? That looks like a ram or a goat surrounded by wolves. Goat would certainly play to the idea that this is all some sort of grand deal with the devil sort of scenario, but I'm going to lean ram. That was the recurring symbolism we saw throughout all of Charlie's memories. And there are a lot of idioms involving wolves and sheep. So 2 stones. I think odds of there being another stone at the clinic just skyrocketed. And look at us. We've now got an excuse to go pay Dr. Kelly a visit, too. Oh, I wonder if they set it up this way deliberately. Because either way, you or Tabitha would need to see a doctor after this. Oh boy, I sure hope this thing was worth it. But yeah, I mean, we also helped Charlie, so that's important. And Oscar and Rosalina to a lesser extent, though they could have moved, I suppose. Charlie's mummified remains stare up at you, sad and broken at the bottom of the pit. You're only able to maintain your gaze for a moment before exhaustion overwhelms you. With the last of your strength, you hoist yourself from the pit and collapse on the floor. You feel like death. No, Retcon, what happened to you? You look awful. It's done, Tabitha. If you have any regrets, keep them to yourself. You try and think of words to say, but you're still delirious from what happened, and you struggle to form coherent thoughts. Come along, Retcon. Let's get you home. You quietly walk towards the stairs. Tabitha rushes to your side to give you a shoulder to lean on as you walk. You're outside. It's real this time. The cool breeze chills you deeper than it should, and you realize just how drained you feel. Your legs are heavier, harder to lift as you make your way down the steps of the library, your lungs wheezing as if you've run a marathon. You can almost feel how pale your face has become, your lips dry and thin, your hands almost trembling with the effort of raising them to your face, as you trace the new lines and furrows that have formed there. Jeez. I'm gonna wait by the car. Just let me know when you're ready to go home. Your cousin walks off before you get a chance to respond. I'm gonna peace out too. Back-to-back encounters with my own mortality. I've got a lot to ponder. See you, Rosalina. See you, Alexis. See you, Zane. Zane walks off down the road. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you earlier in the night. I had no idea what y'all were planning to do. How are we supposed to know it would be like that? Things have been strange around town, sweetie. Now's not the time to be poking around in the supernatural. I thought you learned that lesson yesterday. But magic isn't real. I mean, it's not supposed to be. God, that hurt. Everything is so... Kanika stops mid-sentence as she realizes what's happened to you. Oh my God, Retcon. You poor thing. Okay, so apparently we did lose quite a few years. Enough so that people are commenting on it. That's unfortunate. My bones weren't meant to bend like that. I'm going to be hurting for a few days at least. Retcon, did you... Yeah, it's over. Retcon, I can't believe it. Thank you so much. And I'm so sorry. I don't know how I can possibly make this up to you. So that really happened then? The ghost really took away years of your life? I'm afraid so. Everything in this world has a price. And those years were unfortunately what it took to put that spirit to rest. I can't believe that Tabitha let you do that. It's outrageous. If anyone should have paid the price to put that ghost to rest, it should have been her. You don't even live here. You're barely even a Scarlet. It's just so unfair. I agree, it is unfair. But I did my best to sway her, and what's done is done. There's no use dwelling on things. Kanika takes a deep breath and sighs. You know, Retcon, the salt and pepper look is good on you. Maybe this isn't all bad. Yeah, well, joke's on you. I've had gray hair since I was 16. Kanika. Sorry, just trying to be positive. Stella's way better at that. Yeah, she doesn't look great. Is she okay? I was wondering the same thing. We just saw a ghost, and she's just standing off by herself. It'd be a normal reaction from anyone else who had just seen a ghost, but This is Stella we're talking about. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. As has become increasingly obvious since we met her, and as was specifically called out by Dr. Kelly not too long ago. Stella is clearly still dealing with the death of her parents and her own near-death experience as well. Mostly through avoidance and denial, and the occasional nihilistic streak. She did say some pretty messed up stuff the first day we met. But it might also be safe to assume that her fascination with ghost huntings is just an extension of that. She had essentially set an impossible goal of proving that there was life after death for herself, but now that she's actually attained it, it's gotta be forcing her to contend with all sorts of repressed stuff that's now bubbling back up. I'm gonna go check in with her. You walk over to Stella. I've never seen anything like what we saw tonight. Absolutely dreadful. And I don't think my dear Stella is having an easy time with it. Oh, hey, Retcon. Hey, Stella. I'm here if you need me. I'm so sorry, Retcon. I don't think I can talk right now. I'll call you, okay? She? I think she's crying. She hurries off down the road. That is heartbreaking. Poor Stella. I think she took the brunt of things in there. No wonder she's having a hard time right now. Should we go after her? She's a strong girl. She's had to grapple with a lot of turmoil in her life. She can handle an evening like this. And nobody here should be rushing after anyone right now. That goes doubly for you, Kanika. We don't want that cold of yours to get any worse. You'd better not get any ideas either, Retcon. You need time to recover. Yeah, I should probably at least wait until the, blood mist clears. I didn't notice that before. You know, there's another carving in there. I wonder if those things are tied to everything supernatural that's been happening. Yeah, I wonder. One is a coincidence, but two of them on back-to-back nights? And if you and Stella are right, and there's another one in the clinic. Which, yeah, does seem pretty likely at this point. Though sadly it is going to be 6 to 8 months before we can actually find out. I'm sorry, I'm a little lost. Have you been finding carvings around town? This is news to me, too. I'm sure everyone here could stand around theorizing about this and that all night long. There'll be plenty of time for that tomorrow. I can't believe I let Rosalina go in there. How could I have been so careless? After everything she went through in the last day, how could I have let this happen? You actually tried pretty hard to warn us about things, Oscar. None of us took you seriously enough. Well, I should have done a better job warning you. I should have known how bad it could have gotten in there. I shouldn't have let Rosalina come with us. Dad, what did I tell you? Stop blaming yourself. You couldn't have stopped me. If you tried, we were just going to sneak in after you. Yeah, Rosalina was going to make us go in there no matter what. Okay, so even if we had tried to talk them out of it, they would have ended up in there anyway. Though I believe up to 4 characters can end up missing this entire scenario, Alexis included, depending on how Chapter 2 goes. You didn't put the ghost in our house. This is not on you. I know you've both had a difficult time of this, but the storm has passed. Things will start getting better from here. I also ran into Wayne in one of those rooms, and he vaguely threatened Stella if I kept poking around. Wait, are you serious? Should we be worried about her? Man, I want to think of Wayne as a potential ally, but... yeah, I think we should be. I'll make sure Stella knows what's going on. There was someone else in there? But that's my house. Rosalina and I live there. Ah, crud. I didn't mean to worry him. But he's also got a corpse in there, so... Did he say anything to you? We don't need to trouble Retcon for any details. No one pay any mind to that man. He's just a drifter. He'll be gone soon enough. In the meantime, steer clear, and he won't make trouble. Sybil knows something about Wayne. This is the second time she's commented that we shouldn't be concerned with him. I'm still not sure what to make of him. I would suggest he was the prisoner that appeared in Charlie's memories, but he also worked at the mine, which would seem to kind of rule that out. Unless, well, no. Edwardine referred to the prisoner as an it. So maybe it's like an entity capable of possessing people, like a demon? Were you all conscious the whole time? Everyone glances at each other. Though none of them technically gave any years away, you can see how exhausted they are, how unsettled. Yeah. It was awful. Kind of fun, too, but mostly awful. I'm pretty sure we remember everything. At least up until Sybil showed up and snapped us out of it. What was it like, if you don't mind me asking? Being puppeted? They all glance away. It hurt. Why didn't I make the kids stay behind? I can't believe I let that happen to them. Dad, this might be the overwhelming pain and exhaustion talking, but shut up. I love you. You didn't do anything wrong, okay? I had no idea what I was going to say until the words were already spilling out. It was like I had no control over myself. I remember each and everything I said. It's like it was burned into my memory. You poor souls. I can't begin to imagine what you've all been through. Do any of you know who you were supposed to be? No idea. The words just came out. There was no context. Nothing. But there was a weird feeling, like an overwhelming guilt. I was so angry. I was mostly just scared. I didn't feel any of those things. I felt... I don't know how to describe it. I felt powerful. I was just cold. We should probably get going. It's starting to get chilly out, and there's still work to do to get Rosalina set up for the night. Don't be a stranger, and let us know if you need anything, Oscar. I will. Thank you. All of you. Again. I believe it's time for me to get my daughter home as well. But, Kanika, dear, you haven't been feeling well. You need to get some rest. Okay. Kanika wearily treks back to the general store. Before I go, Sybil places a hand on your arm, holding you back for a moment. I'm sure you have questions after everything you saw tonight, and about what's happened to you. But let's not get into it here. I think everyone could use a little rest and relaxation right now, yourself included. If you swing by the tea room sometime tomorrow, say, early afternoon, you and I can have a little chat. I'll see you then, Retcon. Sybil leaves you and catches up to her daughter. You can't help but overhear snippets of their conversation as they leave. My whole body hurts, Mom. What was that? I want a better answer than a ghost. It was a spirit, dear. I've never been a fan of the word ghost. You'll be all right. Let me get you some of that special tea. It's been working well, don't you think? I think ibuprofen would be better, but I gotta admit, the tea has been nice. I'll put a kettle on as soon as we get home. I guess it's just the two of us now. So you have no idea who you were? I could roughly place most of the others. None whatsoever. But I remember everything I said. And I remember that cold feeling. A prisoner of the Scarlets. I wonder what your family was up to back then. I guess we can add it to the ever-growing pile of mysteries. What do you remember? As far as I know, all of it. I might start forgetting soon, but for now, it's all fresh. The twisting wasn't the most pleasant, but even though I feel like I got tossed in a blender, it honestly made me feel so alive. So you don't regret coming along tonight? I can't believe you're the one being apologetic right now. These bruises are temporary, you know? Look, that was a horrible experience that will stick with me for the rest of my days. But it was also kind of amazing for that. I don't know if it makes sense, but how many other people can say they were possessed by a ghost? I guess you finally got some shared trauma with everyone now. Avery chuckles, then grabs at their ribs, wincing. Yeah, I guess I do, huh? I know tonight was horrific, but it was also thrilling, and knowing we all went through it together, it makes it easier. There are people to commiserate with tomorrow morning, when the soreness really starts to set in. Which reminds me, I'd better get back home. I'm supposed to have a shift tomorrow morning. I might have to call in sick. But here's hoping a good night's sleep is enough to heal up. And, I hope you feel better soon. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Avery heads off, leaving the square in front of the library empty. Time to wrap things up here. back to the estate. As soon as you get into the car, the exhaustion of the night's events overwhelms you. The ache in your bones becomes a dull throb as your body sinks into the seat, and your eyelids pull shut as if weighted by lead sheets. We're back. Do you need me to carry you inside? Did I dream that I gave up years of my life to get rid of a ghost? Or did that actually happen? I think you can answer that question by taking a look in the mirror. You do as Tabitha suggests and look into the passenger seat's mirror. Your face looks so much older than the last time you saw it. The cracks and furrows of age line your skin, and streaks of your hair have turned stark white. I hope this was worth it. Me too, but it probably wasn't. Now come on, let's get you to bed. You're back inside. The chill of the night breeze is a little better here, but your legs are numb with exhaustion. Well, we're back. I have to imagine you want to get to bed. Not just yet. Tabby, I want to talk about Wayne. Really talk. Do you really have the energy to keep talking? Well, I do for now, but who knows how long that'll actually last. Do you think he's actually going to hurt Stella? No. He's a creep, but I don't think he has it in him to actually hurt her. And I don't know if you've noticed, but Stella is irritatingly resourceful. She'll be fine. So Wayne's a he now. Back in the ghost realm, he was an it. Was he? Ugh. Does it really matter? I was scared in there, and right now I'm so exhausted I can barely think straight. Who cares if Wayne is a he or an it anyway? Either way, he's bad news, and you'd best steer clear. Talking isn't doing much good for your condition. If you keep going, you might just collapse on the floor. You can barely stand right now, but if you're going to keep bringing this up, and if people are going to talk behind my back, I at least want you to know my side of things. Herlan didn't like it when I dated someone for too long. She'd pressure me to break up with them, and if I pushed back, she'd find a way to handle it herself. If you want to know what went wrong with Wayne, you'd be better off asking her. But she's dead as a doornail, so unless we're stuck dealing with 2 ghosts in 1 week, that's not happening. Oh, that is very intriguing. Both, her referring to Wayne as an it, and the thing with Perlan. That whole possession thing is starting to sound more plausible now. Case closed. Did she do something to him? I learned it was best not to ask too many questions. Now go to bed. You need rest. You find yourself unable to object. Don't keep poking around looking for trouble. You just have to make it to the funeral. 4 more days, that's all. And then the bus comes. You know, I don't have to leave the holler. I could get used to this place. That's good to hear. It would be nice, not being the only Scarlet left. Anyway, night. See you tomorrow. Time to go to bed. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly, you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. Before your thoughts can drift away to nightmarish recollections of hours past, your phone buzzes on the nightstand. Oh, looks like Janie did some cleaning in here. I don't remember that broom being there. It does look slightly cleaner, I think. Hard to tell with all the blood. Hey, sorry I ran off earlier. Wound up in a really bad headspace. I care about you so much. So sorry you got hurt in there. Just need some time to get a handle on things. Sorry. You call Stella, but it goes straight to voicemail. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm the sorry one. I let that ghost hurt you. You put your phone back on the nightstand. It's Wednesday night. Nearly half a week has passed since you first arrived in town, and a little over half a week remains until the bus comes to take you home. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. has been put to rest at the expense of unknown years of your life. The specter of the night's events will linger over you for every day you have left, a grim reminder of the price you willingly paid for the crimes of a family you never met. Maybe it'll be easier in the morning. Maybe your joints will ache just a little less than they do now. Maybe you can still right the capsized ship of your now broken life. Or maybe things will only get worse from here. And that's it. That's the end of episode 3. Dang. And once again, just as messed up as the first 2 chapters in that conclusion, it's a definite pattern, the whole sort of trying to put you at ease with the early day hijinks, meeting charming characters, having some comedic interactions, only to cap each day with some nightmarish horror. And they definitely don't pull any punches. We got lucky on day 2 by just having the right trait to prevent any untimely deaths or maimings, but we were not so fortunate this time around. And I will say, I have some second thoughts about what we did, but at the same time I am curious to see where it goes, and I would feel a lot worse, I think, if I had gone with either of the other 2 options. Tabby is an enigma. I mean, I know there are some folks who would probably push her to take the punishment instead, but I don't think she deserves that. I mean, clearly she does know more than she's letting on, but I also get the distinct impression that to a certain extent she sort of closed herself off from a lot of the machinations of the Scarlet clan. She does seem to have chosen willful ignorance in a lot of cases. She probably has an idea of what the family was up to, but deliberately closed herself off from the more sordid details. Actually, come to think of it, that might be why she shut out Stella. If she was in a relationship with Stella, then Perlan may have stepped in and forced her to end things once they were out of school. Huh. Oh, wait. If Perlan was responsible for what happened to Wayne, there's a possibility she was also responsible for what happened to Stella. Maybe she tried to kill Stella to forcibly remove her from... Oh man. There is a lot to unpack in this episode. I'll also note that there are certain events in this episode that I did not see with my test game, which is with an athletic, street-smart character. For example, Tabby did not share that information about Wayne with my other character. Likewise, the various bits and bobs we uncovered with the keen eye trait also do change my perception of various things. I mean, the whole possession angle, the idea of maybe a demon or a devil or some other similar entity, really kind of changes the entire dynamic of this scenario. Here's a thought. We know that ghosts exist now, and they're tied in some way to these stones. The Tommyknockers back in the mine appeared to be the ghosts of the miners who had died during the collapse. And of course, Charlie died right on top of another stone, and came back as a vengeful ghost as well. We have a third perspective stone in the clinic. And at this point, I am very much thinking that that might be the catalyst for how Dr. Kelly is keeping her son alive. That gives me the impression that these stones have something to do with preserving or possibly harvesting or transferring human spirits. And that also kind of leans me towards the idea that perhaps some ancestor of the Scarlet clan, Enoch or someone even before him, has been transferring their spirit down the line from descendant to descendant. Perhaps that's why Perlan was so keen on controlling Tabitha's personal life, to the point of potentially murderous acts, just to keep her in line. Which could very well be what got Perlan killed. Given that Tabby clearly suspected Perlan did something to Wayne, it's possible she also suspected that Perlan did something to Stella as well, and she clearly still has some feelings for her. Maybe Tabby just snapped one night. Maybe she finally got tired of it. I think it's pretty obvious that Perlan did not die of natural causes. The real question is just, who expedited her passage from this world? And is she really gone? I mean, if we assume that there are spirit transfers, she could still be kicking around somewhere. And we never did find out who the mysterious squatter that Dustin's mom mentioned was. I was assuming Wayne, but it could be someone else. It could be something else. Maybe even Perlan. Anyway, I could continue theory crafting for hours. This is an utterly fascinating story. And of course, I welcome commentary from you guys too. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff I missed. Connections or clues that I might have just glossed over. But ultimately, I think it does boil down to us just not having enough clues yet to draw any real concrete conclusions. That said, we will hit the pause button for now, but we will absolutely continue this once there is more story to explore. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Scarlet Hollow, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon. As always, links are in the description.